How many of you guys here in Boise are in construction? Some facet. Okay, good amount of you guys. How many of you guys that are in construction want to get into the real estate ground up game for yourself? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you guys are in real estate? Before you answer this, how many of you guys are in real estate and own a property outside of your single family home that you collect rent on every single month? Okay, just a few of you guys. Good. How many of you guys want to get into ground up residential construction? Raise your hand. How many of you guys want to get in multifamily? Okay, cool. Perfect. How many of you guys that are brand new to me over the last week found me online? It's brand new. Okay, perfect. Right on. Perfect. Good deal. Okay, that's about right. About 50%. We're marking about 50% new people and 50% people who know who we are. Okay, so those of you guys who don't know who I am, the reason that I have the authority to come up here and talk about what I'm talking about today, which is ground up residential and commercial construction, is I've been doing it for almost 30 years. We've been doing ground up construction, and 90% of everything we've done is our stuff. We don't really work for customers. We obviously build homes spec. We sell them to a customer, but we don't build them for customers. We've never done build-to-suits ever. I did one build-to-suit in my entire life, and I got stuck in it in the 2008 recession. I'll never do a build-to-suit ever again. I never did them before, and that'll be the only build-to-suit that I will ever do. And the reason why is because we opened up a concrete company in 1998, and we were so busy babysitting residential customers that we never wanted to babysit any more people than what we had in our concrete company. Okay, we still have that concrete company today. 80% of it is commercial. Most of it is government work. And that company, its largest, did about $14 million a year. We're running right now about $6 million a year in concrete. Okay, now it's not the biggest part of what we do anymore. It's a real small part of what we do, but it's been a great cash flowing business forever, you know. And I started it after the company that I was a part of back in the mid 90s got shut down by the FTC. So I opened up a small concrete company. I didn't have any construction experience at all. I was involved in a multi-level marketing company. I was in sales, and my brother-in-law was in drywall. I started selling drywall jobs for these guys. And then I found out how much money there was in concrete. And so we started doing a lot of decorative concrete. You guys ever been to like a rainforest cafe? Any of you guys? Yeah. So about 80% of the rainforest cafes in the United States, I did them. They're my company. If you guys have ever been to the Gaylord hotels and resorts, the last one we did is the one in Denver, and the one that is right by the airport in Denver. That's the last Gaylord. But all the fake rock that you guys see in there that's made out of concrete that looks like rock, that's the type of stuff that we started doing back in the 90s, and it evolved into a lot of commercial and government work, but we were making a shit ton of money doing that stuff. And it was at a time when I had like a 460 credit score, and we would go in, frame those things, we shotcrete those things up, and I used to go in there and run those hoses for hours. And so I'd get guys from college, and I'd literally run. Any of you guys ever in concrete? Anybody? Okay. Any of you guys ever ran a shotcrete hose before? Okay. You got to have a pair of testicles to run a shotcrete hose. Okay. And especially, we start that stuff at 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we didn't get out to 8 o'clock at night, and I'd run that hose for about 90% of that time, guys, and we'd run that thing all damn day. And so that's the world that I came from to get to where I am today. Today, a little different. We mostly do ground up commercial development in multifamily. We do have a self-storage facility going in right now down in Show Low, Arizona. And I just finished a 155,000 square foot warehouse building down in DeKalb, Illinois. And most of our other stuff is in Phoenix, Washington State, a little bit in California, New Mexico, and a little bit in Texas. And so we're doing stuff here in Boise. You guys realize how beneficial this market is? Do you guys realize how advantageous you guys are to be here? Like, look around, guys. I'll market for 4 days, and I'll put a little, like, this is a little group, guys. We'll do this in any other city across the United States with 1 million people, and we'll have almost a couple hundred people in a room in 4 days. And Boise, you guys in just the last 5 years have grown over 50,000 people in population just in Boise. You guys have grown almost 100,000 people in the Boise metro area and in the outskirts, like 80-some thousand people. Do you guys realize that? Mm-hmm. That's massive growth for an area like Boise, because you guys just hit 1 million people just recently, haven't you?
Something like that.
Yeah, right around there, give or take.
They won't stop coming.
They won't stop coming?
I love it. Yeah.
Well, bro, I mean, here's the thing, man. You guys are saddled between California, which is a great state to live, but a shitty place for business and taxes, right? So guess what you guys get? You guys get a lot of people from California. You guys get a lot of people from down south. You guys get a lot of people from Washington and Oregon because it's expensive to live there. Like, guys, when we go into Washington State, I'm in Kirkland, Washington, and in Kirkland, Washington, guys, the average median income, yes, it's $180,000, but the average median home costs $800,000, 800 grand. We're selling 1,500 square foot houses for $1.2 million, guys. 1,500 square foot homes, guys. And so understand, those people are migrating here because it's more cost effective to live here. But the thing is that Boise isn't that cost effective anymore. It's gone expensive over the last decade, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Yeah? Absolutely. It has, right? But here's the thing, guys. We have a small presence here in Boise. We've got about, we have just shy of 3,000 people nationwide that are part of our community. And what we do, guys, just so you guys understand, the reason you guys are really here is I got to get every single person in here acclimated to understanding how to underwrite real estate, both residential and commercial real estate. Because if you don't, you're worthless to me and you're also worthless to yourself. And the reason why is you're dangerous. You're like playing Russian roulette with one loaded chamber, and you're going out there hoping that you don't blow your project. That project doesn't blow you out of the water with that one bad project. How many of you guys do fix and flips in here? Raise your hand if you've ever done a fix and flip. Okay. Fix and flips. You guys know me. You guys have followed my stuff. I talk shit about fix and flips because it's like playing Russian roulette, guys. And the thing is it's like you hit that revolver and you got a bullet in there and you're just waiting for one of those projects to blow up. There's not enough profitability in them because they're a really high liability. Okay. And so one of the things, guys, that I'll explain to you guys is that if there was money in fix and flips, I'd be talking to you guys about fix and flips. That's what I'd be putting my time and money into. The reason I don't do fix and flips is because there's not enough profitability. At a time back in like 2002, 2004, 2005, all the way to 2009, we were doing about 50 homes a year, just over that, between 55. Our largest year was 57 homes in 1 year. And when we were doing that, guys, we were doing fix and flips on the side to afford payroll, so that way when we were in between houses, we had to take a house out of the ground every week. There's 52 weeks in a year, right? If we didn't take a house out of the ground every week, it would cost us money to have those houses because we were building in such large volume at that time. But what ended up happening, guys, is I pick up these little fix and flips, and in 2008, we had like 8 fix and flips. We made money on none of them, and we lost about 10 grand here, 15 grand there, and just fire sold them. Okay, so what I want you guys to understand today is that when we're talking, I want you guys to understand the demographics of what I'm talking about and where I've been playing in this market for almost 3 decades. Okay, and I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't do this on purpose. I found this market sector on accident. We were pouring a foundation on a slab, and what ended up happening was there was a dude that showed up on a Harley Davidson motorcycle at the exact same time that I showed up to check on my crew. Ironically enough, 2 days in a row at the exact same time, different times. And I rolled in and I saw this guy roll up on a Harley, had a Tommy Bahama shirt on, tattoos, some skull rings on, but he was from New Zealand, had a real heavy New Zealand accent. But he looked clean. Like he looked like he was ready to go to a nightclub in like 11 o'clock in the morning, you know? And I was like, damn, what's this guy doing, man? That he looked, you could just tell he had that presence of like, hey, I own this fucking place. You guys ever, you know when somebody's like that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he show up like that, and if you guys know me, I'm very outspoken, so I went up and I said, hey, bro, I said, this is your house? And he goes, yeah. And I go, are you building it for you or a customer? He goes, I don't have a customer yet, but it's going to be for a customer. And so I asked him, how much do you think you're going to sell this house for? He goes, I reckon I better make at least $80,000. This was 1998, guys. So I was sitting back going, okay, shit. And I said, how many months is it going to take you? He goes, about 4 months. I said, 20, 40, 60, 80, 4. That's 20 grand extra a month that I could put in my back pocket if I did exactly what he was doing. He didn't have to say anything else, guys. I went 3 lots over. I bought the lot 3 lots over for $35,000 back then. The average median home in those days was $89,000 for a median home. So the upper middle class back then was about $400,000. So I went and built a $398,000 home, and I built that house in 4 months, and I managed it like we manage our concrete company, and I made about $82,000 on my very first build. I did it in 4 months, guys. I had it sold before I had even had it done. And then I landed up doing 2 homes immediately after. And within 2 years, we did 8 houses a year. And then we scaled from 8 to 50 homes in 2002, guys, in less than 4 years. Okay. And we always service the upper middle class. And the reason why is this right here, guys. So the population goes like this. 74% are our median home buyers, okay? These guys right here, like D.R. Horton, they're Pulte, it's Centex, it's all the big builders, LGI, all the big builders. That's where they play, right here, okay? We don't play in that sector because when you guys go in, you hear the news, and you guys hear the media, and they're talking about market compressions, and they're talking about houses sitting on the market, and how house prices are dropping. That's the market sector that they're talking about right there, okay? And the problem is that when you talk about Pulte, D.R. Horton, Lennar Homes, Centex Homes, KB Homes, and all these guys, they own the title company, they own the real estate company, they're the contractor, they own the land, they own everything. They wear all hats. So they can afford to go in and do high volume and take percentage losses on certain quantity of homes because they're building in volume. You and I, we don't have that luxury because if we take a cut on our homes, the profitability is so small, it increases our liability. Does that make sense? That's why we don't screw with that market sector. So what we do, guys, is we go in and we deal with the upper middle class. That's at 24% of our population, okay? This is our upper middle class. Now, 2% is the ultra wealthy, okay? We don't deal here either because it's too small. That number, that 2%, it's not big enough, guys. That 2% puts you too high a risk. Luxury builds are awesome. But the problem with luxury builds is that if the market compresses, people like me are not buying homes, guys. I'll wait to buy a home until when I could just steal one. When someone else loses it, it's exactly how I bought my home. My home's a $3 million home, but I paid just under $1 million for it, put 300 grand into it. The house was brand new, but it had some mold damage, and we wound up going in, and for 1.2 million, we own a $3 million home. That's what wealthy people do. Does that make sense? We're not buying, like, I'm not spending my money on dumb shit. Okay. Now, those of you guys that follow me and you guys are seeing, like, you guys see the Ferraris I just bought and the McLaren I just bought and the G-Wagon, all that stuff. Those are all tax strategies, guys. It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. And we're writing all that shit off this year because last year we restructured all our multifamily to go in and do HUD underwriting and HUD builds on it so that we could get lower interest rates and stabilize our big developments. All of our apartment complexes are 150 units, 200 units, 250 units. They're all $30 to $70 million developments, 100% of them, and they're ours. And the big thing, guys, is we have to bridge over this last year because we didn't complete any projects in 2025. We're going to complete them starting right at the beginning of 2026. So we have no cost segregation money to be able to take the write-offs on those. You guys will understand what that means here at the end of what I talk about today. Cool? Okay. Now, so we're going to talk about this, the upper middle class right here in Boise. And I don't care what market sector that you live in. I don't care where you come from. There's an upper middle class in every single demographics across the country. I was just in El Paso a week and a half ago, and there was a guy that disputed me. I was like, bro, there's fucking wealthy people right here in El Paso. There's $20 million homes, $16 million homes. There's homes that people live with wealth right here in El Paso. Does that make sense? And so Boise is the same thing. The reason I mentioned that to you guys is because Boise has always been a working blue-collar town, hasn't it? It is more of a blue-collar town, yeah?
Yes.
It is. And so when you think blue-collar, people don't think wealth and blue-collar. Because if you were taught like my parents taught me, they told me that if I didn't go to school and get a good education, I was going to land up in construction. I had no idea there was money in construction, guys. If I would have known that there was as much money in construction, I would have skipped over pharmacy school and I would have went straight into construction. But I went through pharmacy school, graduated from pharmacy school, and even worked doing pouring concrete, worked graveyards in a pharmacy for the first couple of years to bridge over the gap of me just trying to get myself out of a hole I dug myself in. Make sense? Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, let's talk about the upper middle class right here in Boise. I got a young man in here today. I'll keep my mouth clean. No, good. My mouth is usually pretty bad. And I view it kind of non-forgiving, guys. I just am who I am. I do this, and the reason I do this is understand this, guys. I'm gonna be myself unforgivingly. I'm gonna be more respectful. Probably a few will slip out. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, okay. Well, cool. So my whole thing, guys, is when I come in, guys, I'm not gonna try to be anybody that I'm not. I don't need to be anymore. I've worked my ass off, man. If you guys understand my story, you guys will sit back. 99.9% of you guys will not go through the shit I've went through. I went through hell and high water and back to where I came from to where I am today. Most of you guys wouldn't go through the hell I went through and I put myself through to get here. Okay. But the thing is, guys, is that unforgivingly, I'm just going to be myself because I don't want to try to pretend to be anybody. I'm not. Make sense? Is that cool with you guys? Yeah. So if a couple bad words come out, guys, sorry, that's just the way I roll. I've been in construction for a lot of years. Okay. And that's the way when shit has to get done and push comes to shove. If you guys are in construction, you know what happens on those job sites. Sometimes they get heated. And sometimes they get hot, and sometimes you got to get shit done, and that's just the way shit gets done. Yeah? Cool? All right. Now, when we go in, guys, understand that you guys are here today because my incentive to help you guys is that if you guys go out and I help you guys make money, you guys have to resume into multifamily. How many of you guys want to get into multifamily again? Okay. I'm going to talk about banking and lending all day long today. And I'm going to talk about how the banks really work. Because most people in here don't understand how banks work. But what's the biggest cost for most people? It's money, right? So if money's the big cost, how do you get it? How do you get the banks to pay for your land? How do you get the banks to de-risk your project? And how do you position yourself to get money from the banks and give them exactly what they're in need of so that they approve you on your loans? And at the same time that you're doing that, you're also de-risking your project. Because if the bank underwrites it and they can't make it make sense, you shouldn't be building it anyways. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's what happens, guys, is once you get out of the residential sector, you might be able to build a duplex. You might be able to build a quad. You might even be able to go in and build an 8-unit apartment complex. But once you start cusping over the bridge of about 10 units, the banks won't lend you money. I don't give a shit how much money you have in your bank account. I don't care what you have in your possession. They will not lend you money if you haven't resumed into larger multifamily or commercial assets. So the biggest thing is, if you guys ever see us wearing our shirts that say resume up, the reason why is because the banks will not allow you to get into those assets until you resume into them. Does that make sense? So I know that those of you guys that come in here, if I help you guys go out and crush it in residential real estate and you guys want to get into multifamily, you can't get into it unless you invest in one of my deals. You could be a limited partner in one of my deals, but if I teach you how to go out and make $300,000 on a build, would you give me $100,000 as an investment that you make a return on in my multifamily so that you can your next project, you can put that on your resume and go and build a 30 unit? Would you? Yeah. So that's how we raise capital, guys. We have a community of almost 3,000 people. When I need to do a capital raise, I send out an email to the people in my community that love me, that I've helped make millionaires. And then they go out and they invest in my project, and I'll raise $5-6 million on an email in less than a week. Does that make sense? That's my goal for you guys. So if I can't teach you guys how to make money and you're broke as shit, you're worthless to me. Does that make sense? So my incentive is to help you guys friggin' crush it today. So just understand that, okay? So I'm going to go over the underwriting, and I'm going to give you guys more information than you've ever received for free from anybody that has hosted a meetup or anything. I don't do this shit to be an influencer. I do this shit to raise capital and build my business. Truth be told. Make sense? But I'm incentivized to help you guys go out and kick ass and be able to make money doing it. And I got to have you guys in a position where you guys know what you're doing so you don't lose your ass like you do in fix and flips. Make sense? Okay. Now, when you think about a doctor or a scientist, or you think about a self-employed entrepreneur, a business owner that owns a good, well-ran gym, or a plumber or an electrician that has their own company, they're doing well. You think about somebody that is more affluent that moves into Boise, and they want to live in an area where there's better schools, no crime, and there's more open space, even where the homes are more expensive because they can afford to. Where do they move here in the Boise area? What towns and what cities right around Boise do they move to get better schools, no crime, and a better neighborhood for their family? Where do they live?
Star. Eagle.
Where at?
Eagle.
Eagle?
Star.
Eagle. Star. Where else?
Meridian.
Meridian? Middleton?
North End.
Where at?
Or Lake Hinsville.
Lake Hinsville? Okay. Where else?
East Boise.
East what?
East Boise.
East Boise? Okay. Now, Here's the thing, guys. We don't look for land. What we do is we look for a demographical area that supports what we're doing. And the reason that we do that, ladies and gentlemen, is because the banks are looking for two things. Two things, guys. They're looking for comps that support the second thing, which is asset value. Okay? Okay, now, this is what the banks need. And the reason they're looking for comps in residential, and it works the exact opposite with commercial real estate. What the banks are looking for with commercial real estate is they're looking for what's called pro formas. The pro formas show how much money that property brings in, and it shows what the expenses are to run that property. But it's real information. It's real data. Everything in real estate and banking is data driven. It's not like you go in, you look at a piece of real estate, you put it on a piece of paper, and you're like, yeah, I think I'll make $50,000 and I'm cool with that. I'm safe enough. Let's go buy it. That's the way 99.9% of people underwrite real estate, is based on their emotional feeling of if there's enough profit that they think is in there, that they'll go in and they'll buy it. What if instead you guys were methodical, just like the banks, and you knew exactly what you were going to make, what it was going to cost you to build, and you went in there and executed based on real numbers and real data before you got started so that you knew you were going to make a profit? How many of you guys think you'd be more successful? The banks will give you the money. That's the whole point, guys. And the biggest things is that when we go in, how many of you guys are immigrants in here that were not born and raised in the United States? How many of you guys are immigrants that didn't go through our U.S. education system? Okay. Right. Keep your hands up real quick. I get them. I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you guys. All right. Truth be told, guys, look, you guys, if you did not go through our U.S. education system, you have a better chance of success here in the United States than the people who did. And the reason why is because the Rockefellers put a school and education system together, not to take advantage of what America was truly built on. They were taking advantage of what America was truly built on. Capitalism, free enterprise, entrepreneurship. That's what America was really built on. They put an education system together to teach you guys how to be slaves to their companies. And that's why our education systems are so jacked up. You spend 13,000 hours in an education system that teaches you about history, math, science, nothing that teaches you about business, about finances, about banking, lending, guys. So you get out of school and then you go in and you get a loan for a house that holds no value of revenue. So they use comps to be able to assess it. And you guys think that through conforming lending, where they're looking at debt to income ratio and they're looking at your credit score, that's the way all banking is done. And you're 100% wrong. And the reason that these folks that come into America and don't go through our U.S. education system, they come in and do so much better is because why did you come to America, sir?
I just came as a refugee. So.
Oh, he's a refugee. Why? Well, why did they bring you here?
It's because where I was born, there was no security. So
okay,
I just
safer?
Safe.
Okay, why do you stay here?
Because it's more safer and give me opportunity to.
More opportunity, guys. Who else? This is someone else here. You, sir?
Yeah, I don't from communism.
You're from where?
Communism. I run away.
You're a communist. Why'd you run here?
Yeah, safe.
Safer. Yep, opportunity. How about you, sir?
First, I'll tell you, I love this country, man.
Yeah.
It's been so great to us.
Look, I'll tell you guys, as jacked up as our politics might be, we're still the best country in the world, hands down. You got it, guys? This country was built on free enterprise, on capitalism. It gives a short little Hispanic guy from the other side of the train tracks an opportunity to go out there and get fucking rich. And that's what it did for me. If you have a work ethic and you're willing to put up with some shit and you're willing to put your head down and go to work, it takes immigrants that can come here with not even a piece of paper, and they can buy real estate in this country. They can work, provided they pay their taxes. They can come in and they can do business here, and that's what America was built on. Make sense? People that were born and raised in America don't take advantage of it. They go out and they work jobs, which is fine. We need good employees. But how many of you guys really ultimately desire to go out and do shit on your own? Raise your hands. Okay? And that's why we're here. Okay? So understand, guys, I have to get you guys over the cusp of 13,000 hours of bullshit that you guys were taught in school to be able to go in and understand how banks really work. And it has nothing to do with conforming lending. It has everything to do with numbers and stats and data. Make sense? If an asset cannot stand on its own 2 feet, it's worthless to the bank. Now, comps are used for residential because it's not an asset, it's a liability. It's an asset for you because you're going to make money on it. The banks know that. So it's an asset for you because you're going to build it, you're going to sell it, you're going to profit from it. Make sense? Let the liability roll to the person that's going to live there that you sell it to, because then they're going to roll into what's called conforming lending. The conforming lending is going to be based on comps. Okay? So when we go in, guys, let's take a look at some of these areas. And let's use one of your guys' demographical areas that you guys have right here. And I'm going to use it just based right off of Google, guys. Homes for sale for $800,000 plus in Star, Idaho. Star, Mississippi. Let's do
Eagle.
which one's the best of those, guys?
Eagle.
Eagle?
Eagle.
Eagle?
Okay.
Eagles, new, newly getting developed right now.
Okay, and let me explain this to you guys. These median homes are sitting, anything less than 600K is right here, guys. I don't want you guys to even pay attention to anything under $600,000. You guys start at the lowest end at 600K and go all the way up to $1.5 million, okay? We build what people need, not what they want. When we look at comps, guys, we're looking at two things. We're looking at the highest price per square foot, and we're looking for days on the market, okay? I want the lowest amount of days on the market and the highest price per square foot, okay? So we're looking at days on market, and we're looking at price per square foot, okay? Now, I will tell you guys, if you guys are getting comps from realtors, you guys cannot go into areas that houses are selling for under $275 per square foot. Most of these homes that are selling for $275 a square foot are being built by these median home builders because they're building volume. Okay. Now, where it really gets fun is when you go into areas that are $300 per square foot. You can still make money at $275 and you'll be happy with that profit, but it's even better once you get over $300 a square foot here in Boise. Now, when we go in and we do this, guys, we're looking for days on market, and I want to stay, between 30 to 90 days. Anything over that, I'm willing to compromise a little bit of my price per square foot to get that thing sold, because moving money is good money. You don't want that money stagnant. If it sits for 4 months, guys, you can go out and build a house in 5 months. You could build a 3,000 square foot house in 5 months. So if you land up losing 4 months with it on the market and you land up making an extra $20,000, $30,000 to go out and hold that time, you're going to sever a $200,000 profit on another build because you're stubborn trying to make 20 grand. Does that make sense? Sell the damn house, lose the 20 grand, go build another house and make $180,000. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now, when we go in, let's go into let's go into Zillow. Okay. There's some tract homes being built out here. I can see already. Okay, this is a custom home. That one's small. Okay, pull out your guys' phones. Guys, help me out here. That one's a little bit older, but let's still look at the price per square foot. What's that?
What's a tract home?
Tract homes and program homes are homes that are built by program builders, tract builders. Okay?
Oh, like repetitive design?
Yep, all repetitive designs. And there's, Toll Brothers, Centex, all the big builders, Pulte. So I'm looking for like customs in here. So this area it's okay, guys. This area is okay. Here's one, 699, 700,000.
Star's pretty new.
Star pretty new?
Yeah.
Let's go into Star. Okay, let's go into Star. And I know the areas. I'm gonna let you guys go in because we have a few people here that are already building that are kicking ass. Let's go into Star. I want to look for more areas though. Give you guys more areas to build out here. Okay, here we go. There we go. This looks better. Okay. Okay, so we go in, guys. Look at these ones. These are a little bit better over here in Star. So this house is $675,000 on 7687 Winter Horse Drive. It's 1,957 square foot. Okay, so if you guys can pull out your calculators, put in $675,000, 675, and divide that by 1957. What is that number?
344.
344. Okay, that's 344 per square foot. I can make money on that. Okay, I'll even take areas where there's some of this, not all of this. I need to get some affirmation that there's something bigger than that. Okay, now we go in. Let's find some other comps in this area. I'm going to do $1 million because I'm going to go in and be the small guy in a big pond. Okay, in a little pond. Okay, 1 million.
That's the square foot. It's so much.
Okay, so we go in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into Zillow or Redfin. Here's another one that's 600. See, these are a lot of tract building here too, but here's some custom homes. So this one's 700. So multiply, there's this one at 11686 West Triloba, Triloba Drive in Star. And this one's a 3-bed, 3-bath. It's 2,400 square feet. Take $690,000 and divide it by 2,400. Oh, here's another one that's really good too.
287.50.
287.50. So let's take 287. Okay, so it's 287 a square foot. Now, how about this one? $850,000 divided by 2,840. This one is at 9425 White Crest Star West White Crest Street in Star, Idaho. So 850,000 divided by 2,840.
299.
299. So about 300 a square foot. Okay. Now, so then there's this other one that's the same one that I did a second ago. Here's another good one. $870,000, guys. This is a good area. I can already tell by the backdrop. Write this down, guys, if you're here. 1337 North Bowknot Lake Way. Bowknot Lake Way. Go look at that house, guys. 870,000 divided by 2260. What is that one?
384.
384? Yeah, I like that. That's a perfect area right there. Let me look at this one more time, guys. This right here is good, guys. There's lots here. This fits my business model perfectly. It's a pretty house, nice build. This is a good area, guys. You guys have to go pay attention to that area where this house is at. There's land in the backdrop in Star. That's a good area. There's another one right here at 12356 West Rice, just like grain Rice Road in Star. It's 870,000 divided by 2635. What is that price per square foot, guys? 330. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I'll add all these up, divide them out. Now, your comps have to be within a 1 mile radius of wherever you're going to be looking at. What I do is I go in like this, and I'll look for areas that support my business model. And if I sit back and I'm looking at prices 300, 384, 344, 330, I know Star's a good area. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to go into these areas where these houses are, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to look for lots right around them because I'm going to use these as comps. Does that make sense? So we're going to be someplace right about that $330,000, $330 a square foot. Let's take the lower end of that. Okay, we'll take this low 3 end. This one then can really be a comp, but we're going to underwrite. I'm going to underwrite for my profitability to make it hard on myself at 330. I'm going to execute closer to this 384 to 344 a square foot. I want to know what these houses look like inside. This 384, that looks like my business model. I like that. If you guys go in, I only build about 2 homes a year now because I'm building multifamily, and I really only build them to document them for you guys. And I build them right down the street from my house. Weaver, Ken Basket Weaver in Placitas. You guys can Google this. This is one of my houses that just got listed. Okay, just got listed. If you guys look at that house, that's kind of what we're looking at in all of these business models right here on the trim out. If you look at the houses and the addresses that I'm giving to you, they kind of fit that same exact trim out in here. There's another one for $700,000 over at 2251 North Garnet Creek Avenue. That's 2,300 square feet. You're going to be over $300 a square foot. Okay, now I'm going to have you guys do the numbers for me because if you guys add them up, you guys are going to benefit from them. Now I'm going to leave Star here, but I'm going to get rid of the rest of this stuff. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for those of you guys that are interested in multifamily, what I want you guys to understand is that this filters straight into multifamily. It's how we got into multifamily. And I'm going to explain to you why multifamily is so important. Every single person in here needs to be in commercial real estate. Everybody. And the reason is because of the tax benefits that go along with it, because of how much profitability there is in houses. Okay? And let me explain why. Now, when we go in, guys, we're going to go in and we're going to execute it at $330 a square foot. Those houses were all between $2,200 and $2,600. So let's go in and let's build a 2,500 square foot house. Is that fair? So if we take 2,500 square feet and we multiply that times $330 a square foot, what is our resale price of the house?
$6K.
No, 2,500, 2,500 times 330. What?
825.
Stop guessing, man. Pull out your calculator, man. What is it?
825.
825. If you're gonna goof off, get out of here. You're gonna fuck around, get out of here. I don't need you here. Neither do they. You just pay attention or fucking leave. What was it again?
825,000.
825. Okay, so our resale price
Nobody said nothing.
is 825. Bro, I'm gonna pull you out of here myself in a second, bro.
Because I'm just trying to fucking be a part of this.
We'll pull out your calculator so you don't interrupt everybody else. I'm gonna ignore you from here forward. Okay. Now, so when we go in, guys, we have $825,000. That's your resale price. So when we go in at 825, we cannot pay more than 15 to 20% of the resale price on the land. Okay, that's the maximum we can pay on the land. So if we take 20% on that, take 825 and multiply that times 20%. 165? Okay, so our land cost is $165,000. Okay, that's our land cost. Now, when we go in, guys, the average price per square foot to build a house in the United States, according to the National Association of Home Builders, is $141 per square foot. Okay, now when we go in and we look at it from a perspective of what we're building versus the national average, there's a lot of this being built in that national average. Okay, so when we come in, guys, we're going to go in. The house that you guys are looking at right here at 10 Basket Weaver, that cost me $154 a square foot to build. That doesn't include the land. That's all build cost, okay? Now, you guys can go in. I want you guys to look at it from a different perspective as well. I have a bunch of homes that are going up in a subdivision that I have up in Kirkland, Washington. And those ones cost us more. But I want you to look at the trim out on them, okay? Let me give you one of the addresses. We have a bunch up there. So let me give you an actual address on those ones. Okay. Now, when we go in and we look at these ones, guys, you guys can Google 8209. Let me write it for you guys. So we're going to go in. We're going to go 8209 Northeast 124th. Okay. We got a bunch of them up here. These are all rebuilt. This is in Kirkland. These ones are all just newly completed too. These ones cost us about $185 a square foot to build. And this is in one of the wealthiest areas demographically from the entire country, guys. Okay. Now, and the reason I want you guys to look at that is just so you guys know what things cost in a very expensive market. You guys are going to be very similar to what we're doing in New Mexico. The cost in Arizona that when we're building is closer to about $155 a square foot. Now, some of you guys are not general contractors. And because you guys are not general contractors, one of the things you're going to have to hire a general contractor. And so there's different ways to hire them. I'll work with you guys to show you guys the right way to work with the general contractors. Some of you guys will do owner builds. So with a general contractor, guys, you guys are going to be closer to about $165 a square foot to be able to build that house and afford to be able to pay your contractor. Now, so if we go in and we have 2,500 square feet at $165, what is your price to build the house? 165 times 2,500.
412.
What is it?
412.
412. Okay, so we have $412,000. Now, when we go in, we're going to have a resale price. We're going to have a resale price on this that is, what was our resale price? $825. So we have our $825, and if we take 6% of that, what is our closing cost on this house? $825 times 6%.
49,500.
49,500. So it's called $50K. Okay, now, we're gonna also have our debt service on this from the bank. Okay, debt service on this is gonna be right around $30,000, 35, let's call it 35 with fees and everything. If that's a little high, but that's okay, we'll keep it at 35. They won't just dump the money in your bank account, and they're gonna do it in draws. So it's an escalating loan. So what ends up happening, guys, is they will escalate the loan amount as you guys complete the project. So if you go in, and this is a real project. This is my camera guy's project, actually. Alec, if you guys have been following my story, Alec's my camera guy. He's been working with me for 7 years. I made it a point about 6 months ago. I said, hey, if you guys work with me, you all have to be building houses. Every single person that's working in our office that works for us, 100% of them are building houses, including my camera guy. Okay? Including my camera guy. It's cool. It's going to be life transformational for them. And here's why, guys. Think about it this way. I told Alec one day, he was at my house. I said, bro, you need to be building a house. And I go, how much do you own your house? He goes, I owe $305,000. I said, how much is your house worth? He goes, I paid $380 for it. It's probably worth $400,000. He has 2 young kids. He's 29 years old. He's been working for me. He was working at T-Mobile selling cell phones when he first met me 7 years ago. I helped him set up a business that now does about $250,000 a year doing videography, guys. And so he comes in, he nets a little over $100,000. His wife's a nurse. And I told him, how would it change your life to move your family into a neighborhood where the houses are worth $700,000 to $900,000? Would you think you can give your kids a better place to live? He said, yes. I said, what if you didn't have a mortgage payment in 3 years? By the time you're 32 years old, you had no mortgage payment, no car payments, Alec. Would that position you in a different place? And he said, oh, yeah. I said, cool. We're going to do it. This is his first house, guys. This is his budget. This is his budgetary spreadsheet for Alec's house. He breaks ground on this in 2 weeks, guys. Has the land, didn't have the affordability. And you know what he does? Like most business owners, he tries to fly under the radar and not pay any taxes, so he doesn't claim any of his business, so he couldn't even get a loan. So for some of you guys that are sitting back, it's time for you guys to ante up. And I told Alec the same thing. I said, it's time to put your big boy pants on. It's time for you to pay some taxes, and it's time for you to ante up. And then we'll get you moving. It didn't take us but 60 days to restructure his stuff correctly to get a construction loan. When I was sitting downstairs eating lunch just a little bit ago, I was on the phone with Alec and his lender, running through this spreadsheet right here, guys, that I teach you guys how to utilize, okay? These spreadsheets, guys, are what's going to give you guys money, okay, from the banks. Now, there's 2 things that you guys need in order to get these spreadsheets done, okay? One, you're going to have to go through the process of entitlement. The process of entitlement is going to get you money from the bank, and it's also going to get you permits, okay? It's going to give you both. It's going to give you both those 2 items. Now, you're going to need a survey. You're going to need both a topographic survey, and you're also going to need a boundary survey. Okay, these 2 items right here are going to cost you right around $1,500. The boundary survey, typically the seller is going to give that to you. When you guys go in, you don't go in and buy the land, guys. You don't buy the land. You go up and tie up the land, and you control the land. And the goal is to come in, and then you go through the process of entitlement. Here's what's cool about Boise. You guys are still a small town. You guys can go in and get permits. You guys can go in. It'll take you 60 days, maybe 90, to get permit ready. Then you guys can go in less than 30 days. You guys can have permits in your hands through plan review and everything. That's what's awesome about Boise, is that you guys can go in and get permits really quick. So you can go in, tie up a lot with a 60-day close, contingent on your municipal approvals. Then as long as the seller, guys, 99% of this is just communication. As long as the seller knows and understands that you're committed, and they know you're spending money getting surveys and architects and stuff done, they're going to work with you to be able to go in, because they know you have a little bit of escrow money on the table. They know that you're working through the process. And as long as you stay in communication, Alec was supposed to close on his lot 30 days ago. But because we ran into finance issues with him, because I didn't realize that he wasn't paying taxes, it took me an extra 30 days to get him with our affiliates and restructure his lending. And he was embarrassed. He didn't want to tell me. So we could have saved all the time, and I could have done this from the beginning if he would have just leveled with me in the beginning, but he didn't level with me. So at the end, I said, bro, it's me. Like, just tell me, man, and I'll help you. Like I help everybody else, you know? And so once he leveled with me, I went back. I put him with a little bit more of a high-risk lender for his first build. He's paying 9% instead of 7% for his construction money, but he's able to get it. Does that make sense? And so you can go in, you get it. You're going to pay a little tiny bit more on your first house. Your first house is your hardest one. the lender, I was just talking to him out there. I go, once he does his first house, how hard is the second one to be? He goes, once he does his first one and completes it, he's done. He's in with us forever. We can get him approved on the next one. Real simple. We have his information. We'll update it on every house, but it'll be seamless. Does that make sense? And he's not a high-risk lender anymore, so he'll go down to 7.3% on his interest payments instead of 9.1. So he almost saves 2% just by building one house. Make sense? Okay? And the same thing with you guys. If you guys don't think you guys qualify, you do. Every single person in here can do this, okay? And I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit more here. I'm going to hit on this. I'm going to come back to this in 1 second. Now, the second thing you're going to need is you're going to need architecture or a draftsman, okay? Now, an architect will usually charge between $2 and $3 a square foot. A draftsman will charge between $1 and $2 a square foot to be able to build this out. We have a 2,500 square foot house right here, guys. So it's going to cost us, let's say it's on the high end and it costs us $5K. This basket weaver house cost me $2,700 to get the architecture done. And I only paid $1 a square foot to my draftsman. Now, number 3, you're going to need engineers. You're going to need a civil engineer and you're going to need a structural engineer. Now, the civil engineer is going to cost you about $3,000. The structural engineer, do not pay the structural engineer more than $1,000. It's my requirement, guys. CAD does all of the seismic, all of the shear wall. It does everything for you in CAD. The structural engineer has to do absolutely nothing more than just review it, make sure that the draftsman drafted the house right. It automatically pulls out the data. All he has to do is stamp it, sign it, and literally takes him an hour to review it, and he make $800 to $1,000 in an hour. Does that make sense? Any structural engineer that charges you more than that for residential, they're just high grossing you. Okay, so just know that, guys. And so when you go in, you're going to spend a total between civil engineering for a grading and drainage plan and a structural engineer, somewhere we're closer to about $4,000, but let's just call it $5,000. Okay, so between all of this, guys, you're going to be someplace right around $11,500. Okay, let's call it $12K. This is a non-negotiable. That's what your out-of-pocket cost is going to be no matter what. You have to come up with that $12,000. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that are sitting back thinking like, hey, $12,000 is way more than I can pallet. It's not, guys. Let me explain this to you guys. How many of you guys went to college in here? Okay. So about a third of you guys. So when you went to college, when I went to college and I registered for my classes, I go to the registrar's office. I register for history. I register for Algebra 1. I register for my history class and all my other stuff. Where do I go after the registrar's office with my classes all on my piece of paper? Where do you go next? No, where do you go next? The bookstore, right? You got to get your books, right? You go to the bookstore. Now, you're a freshman in college. You walk to the bookstore. What's in the front of the bookstore, guys? There's a table. What does that table say on it? No. What's on the table when you walk into the bookstore? It says Discover, MasterCard, Visa, American Express. Yeah? No job, no money, no credit, 18 years old, no business with a credit card. Welcome to the American dream. Let's get you in debt. Here's $2,000, and here's your prime new Visa card. Yeah? How many of you guys remember that in college? Yeah. Now, you go in, you're a business owner, guys. Okay? You're a business owner. Take a look at this real quick. Now, we go in, our cost to build. What's 412 plus 165? That's 577. That's 577, right? Okay, so 577. This is what we're going to need from the bank. Okay? Now, we take this 577, we had 85,000 to it, right? The 50 and the 35,000. So we go in, we're going to be 600 and what is that? 652,000? What is it?
662.
662. So our total cost is 662. Okay, this is our total cost. Okay, now we take that 662 and we subtract it from 825. What's 825 minus 662? 153? 163. Okay, so our net out is 163. Okay. How are you doing, guys? $163,000. Okay. You guys ever went to Bank of America, to Citibank or Chase, and you guys walked in, you're standing in line on a Friday waiting to cash your check or deposit your money, and the person comes up with their little iPad like this, and they're like, "Hi, sir. How are you today? Good. How can I help you, man? What are you here today? Do today?" Oh, good. Do you have your debit card with you? I'll help you right here. Come over here. Right. You give me my debit card. Oh, right. Cool. Do you know you qualify for a Bank of America credit business line of credit today on your business line of credit card today? Do you realize you do? Would you like to apply today?
Sure.
Okay. So as nervous as he is about how uncomfortable you feel when they ask you that, yeah? You're like, no, thank you, right? How many of you guys have ever experienced that when you go into line at the bank? Yeah? Okay, let me explain something to you guys. You're that freshman in college. 85%, well, 95% of business fail in the first year that they start, guys. 95% of new businesses started in America fail in year number 1, okay? Out of all the businesses that make it, the 5%, 85% of them don't turn a profit until year number 3, okay? Those are real stats, guys. That's real data. So you go in, guys, your first year, you have a gross annualized revenue of $825,000 as a business owner. Your first year, you net $163,000. You're in the top 0.2% of all money earners since the history of Adam and Eve. Does that make sense? Do you think that Bank of America is making money only selling to 0.2% of our population? No. You qualify for business lines of credit, guys. So one of the big things is that I put these trainings together, and I started doing these little hybrid trainings about 1.5 years ago. They're my Build Wealth workshops. And the reason that I do them is because there's only so much information I can give you guys in a free training for like 1.5 hours, right? So what I do is I put a weekend together where I take you guys and I teach you guys how to underwrite these things. In the very beginning of the training, in the first 1.5 hours, we take you from nothing. And from nothing, guys, we help you guys to create a business line of credit right there in person. Where we go in, we teach you guys how to use AI to write operating agreements. We get your EIN numbers. We have you get registered with the SEC so you can get your corporation number immediately. Then we go in and help you guys get your DUNS number. And right away, guys, with that, we can go in and get you guys business lines of credit. We will even have our affiliates there where you can even apply with them, even if you have jacked up credit, and start working on rebuilding that stuff right when we sit. And the reason why is because I can build and I can spread this gap immediately for every single person in here. So if you knew you could get $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 almost immediately, what would be holding you back to go out and build? Right? Okay. So the biggest thing is this. Now, when we go in and do this, guys, let's see, what do I erase? Let's erase this stuff up here. Yeah, let's erase all this garbage up here. How many of you guys want to know how to get the money? And how many of you guys want to know how to get the banks to pay for the land for you?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we do, guys. We go in, and the spreadsheet is the single most important thing, along with the blueprints. Because what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to take this right here. You're going to take the process of entitlement. These items right here, these blueprints, you cannot fill out this spreadsheet without this, without the plans. You cannot fill it out. Because if you take, how many of you guys are contractors in here? Cool. Hey, sir, how much do you charge a square foot to build me a house?
About $100 square foot.
Charge me $100 a square foot?
Depending on the house for sure.
Okay, so $100 a square foot. Damn, that's good. Okay, so but a lot of contractors. Who else is a contractor in here? Who does custom builds? Build the suits. You do build the suits. Who does build the suits? Anybody do build the suits? Custom builds? You do a little bit of. How much you charge me a square foot for a custom build? Build a suit.
Cost plus 20%.
Cost plus 20%. Okay, so cost plus 20%. That's high. Nationwide average is about cost plus 12 to 15%. Expensive cities are typically about 17%. If you're a badass, you can get 20% though. Like when we go. Shit, I won't work for less than 35%, right? But when we go in, guys, and we're doing this, we're going to go in. We have nothing to bid. So these guys are giving us relative numbers. He's charging us. He's going to charge us one price. He's going to charge us another price. If I go in and talk to 6 different contractors in here, I'll get 6 different prices with no set of plans. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so how do we bid the project if we don't have a set of plans? How do you get your numbers right? Okay. So the biggest thing, guys, is you go in, you get your prints together first. What are we building, guys? All we're doing is we're taking whatever the comps are. We're going to go in. We know that we did the comps. We're going to go in and we're going to look for days on the market, lowest days on the market, highest price per square foot. The houses that sit within those cusp of the comps with the lowest days on the market and the highest price per square foot, that's what we're building. In fact, I'll even take that exact same floor plan. I will go in and I will look at that floor plan. I will go in, and every municipality is public information. You can go in right online, pull up their prints, scroll into who their architect is, and call that architect of that house that is selling for the highest price per square foot and the lowest days on the market. And you can tell them, I love your house on Osprey Ridge. That house you did is gorgeous. In fact, I love it so much, I just tied up a lot. I want to build that exact same home, but I want a different elevation on it. Can you flip it, turn the garage, whatever you want to do, but I want that house. And then that architect puts that house for you together on your lot or something pretty damn close. Why reinvent the wheel when it's already proven and it's already a proven concept and it's sold? Does that make sense? So all you do is you go back in, you just duplicate, guys. So we know that the banks are going to go in, they're going to get comps. Guess which house is going to be one of the comps that they're going to do? The same house you're building is going to be the comps. The bank can't talk to the appraisal, but guess who can? You can talk to the appraiser. And so you could go in and you can even tell the appraiser, look, our concept is based on these houses right here. If these help you out, you can use these comps or not. But just go in and you can provide the appraiser those exact comps that you're building. Does that make sense? So now when the appraiser comes back, all you're building is the exact same house that's already been vetted by you, and the bank's going in and they're looking at these comps. Now, when you guys go out, we're going to go in, we're going to have two numbers. This number right here is our execution number. It's $577,000, okay? That number is going to include the land on the first box. Second one is going to be this $12,000 right here, okay? Now, that's going to be all your soft costs, all your entitlements. The next one's going to be the dirt work, your grubbing, your excavation. It's going to be your foundation, your framing lumber, your framing labor, your plumbing, mechanical, electrical, your flooring, your doors, your windows, your roof, all your items all the way down. And you're going to go in, and all you're going to do, guys, is you're going to fill in the blanks, okay? Every box has to get filled out. You're not going to start that build until you get to that $165 a square foot, including your GC fees. So if you find a gentleman like this that can build it for you at $100 a square foot, awesome. You're going to be better off. He won't be able to build this house for $100 a square foot. We'd make him. I would go in. It's different. You're probably building smaller stuff, real simple, easy, rent to live stuff that's real simple, inexpensive. Because we're building multifamily, like our simple stuff costs us like $135 a square foot. Our expensive stuff, our big stuff costs us like $200 a square foot. So there's like this volatility. This market sector, guys, $150 to $165 a square foot is what's going to cost you. Make sense? Okay. Now, once we go in, guys, you can't make a mistake. You have to fill out every single box. Now, the banks are going to provide you a spreadsheet that's very similar. What Alec and I were doing today, right before I came in here, is the bank gave him his spreadsheet. And he goes, Jerome, the spreadsheet that the bank gave me is so much simpler than yours. I don't know how to combine the numbers. What numbers do I put where? And I said, easy. Let's get on the phone. Let me run you through it. It took us 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. I just took all the heavy weighted items on the front end, and I put all the heavy weighted items up front, and I put all the lower ones in the back. Why? Because I need to pre-order items. I'm going to put my list of heavy expenses on the front end so I can get them on my draw boxes. Once this spreadsheet is approved by the bank, each line item is a bucket. Each bucket, guys, is a bucket of money. Once approved, they'll fulfill every single bucket because they're doing it based on your underwriting. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Now, the price can't be more than the bill, but it can be. But what you're going to do is you're going to have two different spreadsheets. This one's going to be for the bank. Now, what Alec and I did is his house is going to be $1 million. His execution numbers are $505,000 and plus the lot at $150,000. So it's just over $660,000 for everything. But he underwrote the build at just over $800,000. Now, the resale price on it's going to be about $995,000. So when we go in, guys, if this house is $825,000, I'm going to underwrite it at every bid of about $800,000 to $810,000. Okay, to the bank. The bank knows that nobody's walking into a house with equity anymore today, especially with inflation. And so if the bank knows that, ladies and gentlemen, do they expect you to work for free? No. They're going to pay a development fee. They're going to pay a management fee. They're going to pay to be able to get this house done. They know no one's working for free. The difference is you're taking your profitability on the back end, but we're going to put it in here on the front end not the profit, but we're going to put the heavy weight of that stuff on the front end so that you can get the bank to do a contribution of equity so that way your equity is paying for your down payment. There's two ways to get the down payment for a bill. You can either come up with it out of pocket and you could put down your 20%, or you can do what's called a contribution of equity. Does that make sense? And so if you go in and you have $163,000 in equity and we underwrite this at 810, we put our land cost up here. And let's say, what was our land cost? 165. Okay, that's on the high end. Let's say that we have our 12K in here. And then we have all the same costs that are on this side, but we put them in here. And on the bottom, we had a management fee, a development fee, and then we add 15 to 20% to every bucket item in here. And that gives us our $810,000. Now, the bank, provided they give you 80% loan to value, Alec is getting 70% value for his land, and he's getting 90% loan to value on his build. So I took the value of his land. That's why I told Alec, watch, and you guys can do this. Pull out your calculators so you guys understand this. Okay? His land was $155,000. Okay? So if you take 70% of 155, what is it?
1085.
1085?
Yep.
Okay, so they're going to give him $108, okay, for the land. They're going to give him 90% of his build cost. His build cost was $505,000 to build the house. They're going to give 90% of this. What is 90% of 505,000?
454,500.
454?
Yes. 0.5.
454. Okay. Now, if we underwrote it at 505, that's an issue. Now, if we go in and we know that they're going to give him 108,000 for the build, and we underwrote his cost to build higher with the land in there, and to get him up at $800,000, we know that we have $700,000 that we have to underwrite. So what is 90% of 700K? What is 90% of 700K? What is it? What was it?
630.
630. Okay. So we know that the bank's going to give us 630,000. So the bank is going to give him $738,000 based off his spreadsheet. Okay. The house is going to be worth $1 million. Does that pay for his land? His cost is 505 and 155. So we take 155 for the land, and then we take 505 for his build cost. His whole cost is 660. Do we have enough money to be able to pay for the land and do the build? Yes or no?
Yes.
We do, don't we? Okay. Now, when we go in and we do this one right here, we're doing the exact same thing. So if we take 80% of 810, what is 80% of 810, guys?
648.
648? The bank is willing to give you $648,000. How much do we need? 577, right? Because this is a pass-through cost. You don't need to worry about this till you sell. This you do need to worry about, because otherwise you're going to have payments. So there's what's called interest reserve, guys. And what the bank will do is they'll take a debit of your proceeds. So they'll do a proceed contribution that they do a reduction. So if the bank is willing to give you $648 and it costs you $35,000, the bank is really only willing to give you $613,000, because they're going to take this $35,000 as a contribution towards your debt service. So that while you build, you don't have no debt service. It's paying it. You're going to owe it on the back end when you pay off the loan, but you don't have no bank payments while you're building. Does that make sense? So they're doing a reduction of proceeds from you. So they're going to reduce your proceed amount to cover the debt service on that loan. It's the exact same thing that we do on multifamily. So even if we go in and we're doing a $50 million project, we figured out they'll take $1.5, $2 million, and they'll do a reduction of proceeds for that amount, less our loan, to take care of the proceeds that it would otherwise cost us to service the debt on that property until we're done building it. Does that make sense? And so it's called interest reserve. So now we can get 613. All we need is 577. We don't take the excess money, you leave it there. It's contingency money. And if you take that money and you use it on something else that's not on these buckets, it's called money laundering. You will go to prison for it. You'll get indicted and you will go to prison for it. So all we do is we execute from these spreadsheets. 100% of everything we do comes right off these spreadsheets. Every single dollar we utilize goes straight back into that project. Make sense? Okay. Now, when we go in and do that, ladies and gentlemen, this 613, the first draw is the land. The second is the $12,000 you paid right here, because you'll probably have a high interest payment on a credit card. It's maybe 20%, and you want to pay that off right away. It's not a lot of money. It might land up costing you $13,000, $14,000 for the short period that you have it. But the second you pay off those credit cards, guess what you do with that money? You go buy and tie up the land and start working on house number 2. Well, you're building this house right here, and this house is under construction. You're getting entitlements for a second house immediately. Does that make sense? And so the second you do that and you're done with your house and that house sells, guess what you do? You turn dirt on your second build. Make sense? And so you just roll straight into your second build. That's how you have a revolving door of business. You don't wait till the house sells, because if you wait till the house sells, it's going to take you another 3 months to get a house out of the ground. So to keep residual business going, you already have one ready to go, already permit approved, ready to go. You use that $12,000 and you replace it and you go back to work. Make sense? Okay. Now, let me explain something to you guys. How many of you guys feel like it would be more advantageous and safer to go in and do like a $400,000 build on your very first build as opposed to an $825,000 build? How many of you guys would feel better about doing a smaller home to start off? Okay. This is why I don't do smaller homes, guys. Okay. So for those of you guys that feel like it's safer, let me explain to you guys why it's not. Okay. Let's say we go in and we do, let me erase this stuff over here. Okay. And I'm going to do this really fast, guys. I'm not going to run through all the details that I just ran through on this one. We've already talked about where the numbers come from. Let's say that we go in, guys, and we build a $400,000 house. Okay. Now, let's go in, and in this $400,000 house, let's take 15% of $400,000. Let's take the low end. What do we pay for our land? What's the maximum amount for the land? How much? $60,000. $60,000. Okay. Now, let's say this $400,000 house is a 2,000 square foot house, small DR Horton home, 2,000 square feet. What's 2,000? And instead of paying $165 a square foot, let's say we go out and build it for $135 a square foot, under the national average. Okay, so we go in at $135 a square foot and multiply that times 2,000. What's our cost to build? $270. Okay, so our cost to build is $270. Then we have our resale cost of 6% on 400,000. What's 6%? 12K. Is that what it is? 12K. Yeah. Okay, and then we have our debt service is going to be someplace right around. What's that?
24K, not 12.
24K.
My bad.
Let's see. No problem. All right. 24K. Okay. Now, then we go in, guys, and we have about, let's call it like 18,000. Let's call it $20,000. I will call it 15,000. Let's go low. Let's even go. We go in and I'm putting downward stress on my business model. You'll really make about $200,000. Then we come in and we add these up. What's 270 plus 60 is, what is that? 330. That's 330 plus 354. So it's 354, 364, 369, right? 369?
Yep.
Okay, 369 minus $400,000, that's $31,000 net out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your net out. Okay, 31K. Now you have to manage that thing to build that thing at $135 a square foot. You're going to have to go in, make sure you find your land under that, and then you go in, you have $31,000. Now, if we plug in the same exact business model and we go in and we take these two numbers right here for the land, that's 270. It's 330. That's 330. Okay, this is what we need. Now, even if we underwrite it at 400,000, what's 80% of 400,000, guys? What's 80% of 400,000? What is it?
320.
320. Okay, we're $10,000 in deficit of what we need to be able to build a house. Guess where that $10,000 comes from? You. So now you have to pay for 10K out of pocket. You're going to have almost the same cost, but let's call it 10K. Guess you can't get your money back out, and now you have to contribute that $10,000. And you have to contribute your interest reserve because there's not enough equity in that thing to contribute it in. So now you have to go in and pay for the lending cost of $15,000. So now to build a $400,000 house, you're going to pay 35, 20, 15, 10, and 10 is $35,000. Just to break ground on that house, guys, you guys cannot break ground on that house without $35,000 cash out of pocket for a $400,000 house. How could that be? You build a house half the size, half the price, and you would think it's safer. You have more money out of pocket, to build a $400,000 house than you do to build an $25,000 house. There's not enough equity in it. When you look at what banks are doing, guys, banks are collateralizing the equity. What is the safety net for the bank? If there's not enough equity for the bank to collateralize and it's not safe enough for the bank, why are you building it? Does that make sense? It's safer for you guys to build an $825,000 house than it is to build a $400,000 house, and it's less money out of your own pocket. Does that make sense? Okay, that's why we don't build $400,000 houses, because $400,000 houses don't make you enough profit. This is like fix and flipping, guys. That's why when you're fix and flipping, you have to come to the table with more money when you buy the house, put the down payment, and you guys go in for construction money. You land up, this is like fix and flipping. That's why we don't function in the upper 74%. That's why we function in the upper middle class. There's more equity. The banks are looking at comps, and they're going to give you a contribution of those comps towards your actual build cost and money. Make sense? Okay. How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you guys ready? You guys got another 10 minutes in you?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to learn multifamily and why it's so important? Okay. Now, before we do that, Rick, you want to come on back here? Okay. Guys, I want you guys to understand before I go into this, we do our hybrid trainings. This one's called Perpetual Money Machine. It's the first time I've ever done a Perpetual Money Machine. It's on February 21st and 22nd in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay? You will never see an ad for this training online. You cannot register online for this. If you guys have ever been to my big trainings, my big workshops that I do, like my real estate domination workshops, we put a couple thousand people in the rooms. We do them in Las Vegas as well. But they're usually at the MGM. We usually rent out a ballroom. They cost me like $1 million to put on. They have all the fancy lights, all the fancy shows. We bring in all the fancy speakers. We do all that stuff. That's not these. This guy's 350 people, limited, no exceptions. That's all we will allow to come in is 350 people. Okay? It's workshop style. It's by invite only. The only way you can attend this workshop is you either came in and you sat through one of my trainings to understand this, and then you're invited, okay? Or you have to sit through one of my online trainings that usually last a couple hours. It's the only two ways that you can come in and go and get invited to these workshops. Now, every time we do one of these, we only allow 20 tickets to be sold because it's in February. We're going to be in Kansas City working with our group on Thursday. And I only have so many tickets available, guys, so I limit them. And it is first come, first serve. The tickets are $798 to go. Okay, I basically do them for free because I feed you guys and everything when you go. It's a 2-day event, and you guys basically pay for the venue for me and your food. But 100% of the proceeds go back to you guys. And so what we do is we go in, we rent a nice fancy big ballroom over in Las Vegas, Nevada. We bring you guys in. I'm your only speaker. I go in. The only other speakers that are there are a few of my students that were sitting in your exact same seats a couple years ago. A year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they'll get up so you guys can ask them questions. That's it. None of them are speakers. But I want them to be able to get beat up by questions you guys have because they've been through it, and they were sitting in the exact same seats you guys are sitting in right now. The only difference between them and you is the fact that they got started working with us earlier than you did. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so the biggest thing, guys, is going in, and you guys don't need motivation. I'm not going to go in there. I'm not going to motivate you guys. I'm going to go in there and give you guys information. Does that make sense? So as dry as this was today, it's going to be as packed with information and more for 16 hours. So the question is, can you handle 16 hours of this?
Oh, yeah.
But what's cool is that at the end of 16 hours, you guys will only be the only ones that get the video recordings of it. So now you guys go in, you guys take notes, and whatever you guys don't get, what I tell you guys is you guys land up getting the video footage. We cut out all the bullshit. We cut out the lunch. We cut out all the bullshit. We cut out Rick on stage. And then we go in and we put the real information. And we put the real information on there. Okay? And so when we go in and we do that, guys, you guys can go back in with your notes and then rewatch it. Because if you guys rewatch that stuff like 5-6 times and you guys understand the underwriting, there's no way you guys can lose in real estate. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the goal is to put you guys. Now, today, guys, on those, if you have to register today, though, you guys get a $200 discount. And the reason I do that is because a +1 for a spouse is $200. So it's basically buy one, you get a spouse for free. Okay, and the reason I do that is because my wife doesn't want to have anything to do with real estate. She wants to come in. She won't spend $700 to go to a training with me, but she'll spend a couple $100 to come to a training because she gets a little bit out of it, but she doesn't really care. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you have a spouse, you have a business partner, you guys want to bring them, it's $200 for your spouse or business partner, but you only get 1 + 1. Okay, that's it. 100% of every single person pays the exact same amount between $597 and $797. Nobody in there comes for free. Nobody. Okay, and it's limited only, guys. You guys got a link on your phones about 15 minutes ago. You guys can register right off that link, or you guys can scan that QR code. Okay, let me explain what this looks like, and then I'm going to hit on the multifamily. When we get there, we start off Saturday morning building a business line of credit, and I'm setting you guys up for success. You guys run through it, and the goal is to help you guys get started since now, so you guys have a project by the time you guys get there in February. Now, once you guys go in, you could use your own project, setting up your own business to set it up correctly. Then when we go in, roll right into is we roll into residential spreadsheets that look exactly like this. You guys are going to get 18 workable PDFs. They're my business. It's 28 years worth of my PDFs that we use in my office to actually train my staff. So when we hire a new superintendent, it's all the spreadsheets that we give and we utilize to train them. I had Tammy, who's my assistant for 24 years. I told her when we started doing this, I told her, Tammy, can you take all our training spreadsheets, turn them all into PDFs, and leave our Excel worksheets as Excel worksheets? You guys can white label these spreadsheets. You can put your own logos up here. You can put your own business name, look like a badass right off the bat. And you guys can go in and white label all of our spreadsheets and utilize them. I don't have them trademarked. You guys can have them. I never thought there was never a reason to trademark them. And I don't care if you guys use them. You guys use them and you guys take advantage of them. We have all the purchase agreement docs. We have all the training docs from start to finish. What's that?
Where's that at?
When you go to the training. In the training, yeah. So we'll provide you all that stuff because you're going to need them. You're going to be able to go into that training, and we're going to work through the actual documents right there. It's an active, living, breathing workshop, guys. We set up all the tables half crescent style with big rounds, and we have my high-end build wealth community walking around and helping you guys. You guys will work in groups, and it's an active learning community that we're doing it live and in person. Then at lunch, I rented out the entire restaurant down at the Golden Nuggets down in Las Vegas. And we're going to get up. We're going to go to the restaurant. We're all going to eat. You guys don't have to run around Las Vegas looking for food. We're going to feed you guys steak, chicken, fish, salads, good, healthy lunch. Then we're going to all get back up. We're going to go back in, and we're going to crush out the afternoon. And the afternoon is the exact same thing, but in multifamily. Does that make sense? Day number 2 is making a perpetual money machine, guys. And what perpetual money machine is a training that I took from my mentor back in the early 1990s. And what we do, guys, is we take all of what you guys learned on the first day on multifamily and on residential, and it's not as black and white as I make it sound here. There's the way that you have to do these spreadsheets. There's very methodical. So what I do is I teach you guys how to take a $163,000 profit instead of going out and spending $200,000 after you make it. 'Cause that's what Americans do, right? You make 163, go spend 200, go buy a new car, go buy a new house, and you spend all your money. Now you're broke again. We're going to teach you guys how to collateralize that money and go out and get $2 million worth of lending power. Does that make sense? And then teach you guys how to go in and do multifamily and how to scale into multifamily, how to take that money and take advantage of it and make it tax-free. Does that make sense? And so the goal is on day 2 is to really take these spreadsheets and now show you guys how banking really works, and then bridge these spreadsheets with how banking really works and how to utilize them to get your draws on your bucket correctly, to pay for your land and everything else, and then scale that so you guys can continue growing if that's what you desire to do. Make sense? Okay, that's day number 2. We're done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you guys can fly home on Sunday night if you guys want to. I try to make them cost effective, very efficient, so you guys can get the hell out of there and you guys can come home. If you want to stay in Vegas, stay in Vegas. Okay? I go in for 2-3 days, I'm out of there. I just want to get home. Okay? Now, you guys ready for a little bit of multifamily?
Yeah.
Okay. This will only take another 5 minutes, guys. I'm not going to go through a full underwriting of multifamily. I'm just going to show you why it's so important to be able to get into multifamily. Okay. Everybody in here could qualify to get into an 8-unit apartment complex, especially after you build 1 or 2 houses. So the goal is to come in, and if all you get done in your very first year is 1 home, I mean, for most people, that's perfect, guys. You get into 1 home, you make an extra, you really make closer to $200,000 on your first home. I underwrite them really conservatively. but even if you make 163 and you do this in your first year, how many of you guys this would impact your life with a part-time job making an extra 163? Because that's part-time, guys. You don't go in and pull out a lawn chair and eat popcorn and watch your framers frame the house. Yeah, unless you want to. What you're going to go do, guys, is you're going to go back to work. You're going to add about 5 to 10 hours a week to your workload building this house. If you have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, you show up to this house at 6:45, 7 o'clock, and even if the contractors aren't there, most of them will be there at 7. They want to get out of there by 2, 3 o'clock. They want to be home. And so they're going to come in 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. If they're not there, you just take pictures of all the problems and you just send it to them. If you don't know what the problems are, all those extra spreadsheets that I'm talking about are in this book right here. And it has every single working spreadsheet. You can go in, you get that book. That book is not a book you read to go in and tell a little story about a Little Red Riding Hood. That's all our spreadsheets, guys. That is 28 years of my business in a book that we give to our superintendents. So when you walk through it, you have punch lists of everything you need to be looking for, and you don't have to read through the whole book. You just flip to the page. There's 2 or 3 pages worth of checklist items you just run through, and you take pictures of them, send text messages to your subs. If you spend 30 minutes to an hour there every morning, 5 days a week, you're doing better than the average general contractor. And then if you go in, you spend another hour a day, 5 days a week, going in and making phone calls, facilitating orders, and taking care of problems and scheduling your contractors. That's 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 10 hours a week for 6 months of your life. Can you guys afford 6 months of your life, 10 hours a week, to make an extra $163,000? That's the question. Because that's about what it's going to take to be able to do this, okay? Now, when we go in and do this, guys, you guys will qualify for an 8-unit apartment complex. You guys go in and do 8 units, based on the average price per rent of $1,750 a month nationwide, that thing will be worth about $2.1 million when it's all said and done. Okay? Now, the reason that we build multifamily is because at $2.1 million, we can go in and cost segregate this in year number 1. We can cost segregate at any time, but we can cost segregate it right when we're done building it, and we can depreciate everything but the land. So let's say we buy an expensive piece of land for $300,000. That's on the high end for something like this. So even if we pay a lot of money for it, that's still $1.8 million in asset value for the actual build itself. So the IRS says you cannot depreciate land. You have to take that out. But what you can do is you could do what's called bonus depreciation in your cost segregation study. You could do bonus depreciation, and in year number 1, you can take 100% of this as a tax deduction in year number 1. And that $1.8 million never expires until you make $1.8 million in net taxable revenue. So that means if you're a teacher, if you're a firefighter, if you're a contractor, and let's say you're making $100,000 a year, and let's say out of that $100,000 a year, you contribute $27,000 to the IRS and federal income taxes. At the end of the year, on April 15th, when you file your taxes, you're going to get a rebate check for $27,000, and 100% of all the tax money that your employer took from you, you're going to get back in the form of a check from the IRS. Does that make sense? Yeah. And this $163,000, if you don't do this, you're going to have to pay about 35% of that in federal income taxes. So you're going to go in and you're going to give to the IRS equivalent to about $50,000 to $60,000 in taxes on that $163,000. How many of you guys want to put up all that risk, all that time, and all that effort to go out and give $60,000 to the IRS? No one. So how about you go in, you resume into some of the larger assets, and you take this 100% tax-free. No federal income taxes. And when you go in and you do this, guys, this asset will only produce you about $32,000 a year in passive income. That's after your debt service. That's after you pay your insurance. That's after you pay your property taxes. That's after everything. You get to take home about $32,000 a year tax-free. You don't pay taxes on this either. An accumulation of this, your regular income that you make right now, plus what the property makes you, you pay $0 in federal income taxes. 0. Until you hit $1.8 million in net taxable income. So after you take your kids' as write-offs, your car, your fuel, and everything else, net taxable income. So we go in, guys, and we do this, you're going to have $32,000, and you'll have about $650,000 in equity. You can sell it and make that, or you can just hold it in there, and your net worth just went up by about $650,000. Does that make sense? Okay? That's why we build multifamily. We don't sell those, we keep them, and we keep them forever. The only time I sell that is when you're ready to build a bigger one. So that way you can sell it, because if you have to recapture the gains, you need to have a larger asset to be able to cost segregate again. Does that make sense? That's what's awesome about multifamily. That's why we're going to teach you guys how to build multifamily. It's not whether you want to build multifamily, you're going to be forced to build multifamily or some other commercial asset. Guys, here in Boise, in 2016, when I stopped buying value add assets and I started coming in, I came in to start building new assets. I came to Boise in 2016 to buy apartment complexes. I started looking because I knew Boise was growing. And I kept hearing about how much Boise was growing, how people were moving into Boise back in 2016. There was only one problem. There was nothing to friggin' buy.
Yeah.
There was no inventory. None. I was like, where's all the inventory? And I tried calling a multifamily broker. There was none. And if you guys understand commercial real estate are like physicians. They specialize. They don't moonlight in different asset classes. If you're a retail guy, you're a commercial broker. If you're a warehouse guy, you're a warehouse person. If you're a multifamily, you're a multifamily. Big cities even have Class C and Class A multifamily guys. Here in Boise, there was no multifamily brokers. There wasn't a business for multifamily here. You guys are so underbuilt, not just in single family homes. There is no multifamily here. Now, I know you guys have seen it go up in the last several years. You're thinking, where does all this multifamily? Who's filling it up? Guys, you guys have over 15,000 rooftops shy of where you guys need to be just in multifamily. It will take 10 years if you guys did everything perfect to fulfill that. There is no way that you're going to do it perfect. You guys probably have 20 years worth of available opportunity right here in Boise. And you guys are probably the hottest market out of the whole nation for the largest growing city with the lowest amount of inventory right now. Does that make sense? It gives me chills. So I'm sitting back going, we don't even come to Boise. This is the smallest group we've talked to across the entire country because the population is still growing, guys. You guys have so much opportunity right here in Boise. You don't even understand what you have at the tip of your fingertips. And we're not putting spaceships on Mars. We're not selling NFTs. We're not doing Bitcoin, guys. This is real opportunity in construction. It's bricks and sticks, guys. That's all it is. It's getting done all around you. There is more opportunity here than any other industry in the country and in the state and right here in the city of Boise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Take advantage of it, guys. Take advantage of it. We're going to create a small little group here, and I'm going to pour into Boise. I've been wanting to come here and build since I started going ground up with multifamily in 2016 with our big assets. We were buying value-add assets. We were buying old Hawthorne Inns and Suites. We were buying old La Quintas, and we were doing conversions, and we're doing these heavy value-add assets. We started going ground up with large 150, 200-plus doors in 2016. I hadn't had a chance to come to Boise. We're going to make a big presence right here in Boise because there's so much opportunity here. I'm going to need some partners out here, some strategic partners. I don't know who they're going to be. There may be nobody in this room that comes in as a partner, and there might be some. It depends on you and how much of a quality individual you are.